Welcome back to another Naval News segment. I would like to thank World of Warships for sponsoring this video, but more of that in a minute. Today we're talking about Grand Africa Nemo 2022. This is a war game, or an exercise really more than a war game, where France works with a lot of African nations along the Atlantic coast, specifically in the Gulf of Guinea and the surrounding waters, where they work on illegal fishing, combating piracy, maritime pollution, practicing rescues at sea, boardings at sea, basically maritime, operations, and working together with these smaller nations that have smaller navies. And they even invite other nations like Brazil and the United States and a number of NATO countries to come and observe and participate, which they often do. Now, this started way back in 2013 when France had an agreement with these nations to come and assist them in maritime security, try to integrate interoperability between the navies, working together because they have a common goal of rule of law at sea in their waters, combating things like illegal fishing. So these events happen 3 to 4 times a year, almost consistently. France goes down and works with them. But once a year, and this began in 2018, they invite outside countries like, like I said, the United States, to come in what is like a finale event. And that is called the Grand Africa Nemo. That started in 2018, so this is year 4 of them doing it, and it's been very successful. But before we continue, a word from our sponsor. This video is sponsored by World of Warships. World of Warships is a fun, free-to-play game available on PC. In World of Warships, you captain a warship or a submarine in 12v12 player versus player matches, co-op matches against the computer, in operations, special matches, and much more. Matches take place over more than 40 unique maps with dynamic weather, stunning water, and visual effects. New content is added every month. New ships, new nations, cosmetics, and special events keep the game fresh and fun. You can play as Lone Wolf Captain, bringing your team to victory, or team up with your friends in Division. And I'm telling you, you want to combine with a 3-man Division with voice chat, you'll have a significant advantage over the other teams, okay? So get your friends together on a Division, communicate and dominate. It's the way to play the game. World of Warships is more than a game. It is a unique digital floating museum displaying breathtaking recreations of World War I and II warships. Many ship designs that were never built are meticulously crafted and playable in World of Warships. And World of Warships is playable on consoles too, that's right. Download the free World of Warships Legends on your console store and start fighting today. I want you to click the link in the description to register your new account with code BRAVO and get a huge starter pack. That's 500 doubloons, 1.5 million credits, 7 days premium account time, and 1 free ship of your choice after you complete 15 battles. The USS Phoenix, Japanese cruiser Kuma, French battleship Corbeil, Italian battleship Dante Alighieri, or HMS Wakeful. Click the link, register your account with code BRAVO, and have fun playing World of Warships today. All right, so welcome back to Grand Africa Nemo 2022. This year we have 17 nations from Africa taking part. This operation continues to grow and become more and more successful, and we're really seeing some dividends, some benefits from these countries working together. There's about 30 vessels operating off the coast of Africa in the Gulf of Guinea right now. Here you can see the list of nations from Africa that are participating in this. This is what it looks like. The Grand Africa Nemo operation is broken up into 2 phases. Phase 1 are the nations operating at sea, practicing their at-sea skills, whether it's boarding or enforcing, maritime and fishing laws, and sailing together in formation. The second phase, which is going to begin on October 14th, really focuses on working together, integrating navies and communications with each other, including France and other guest nations like the United States that is participating in this year's operation. And of course, the African countries working together, making sure their networks can talk to each other, share information. The biggest thing is to communicate with each other in real time, and that greatly adds to their ability to respond to anything that's going on in their waters. So it's a very good program, and I'm glad to see that something like this is getting a little bit of press for you guys, because our navies are working around the world and getting a lot of attention right now in certain areas of the world. But we're also doing operations like this, whether it's France, Brazil, the United States, and of course all the African nations involved, and kind of keeping the water state, enforcing the rule of law, around the world. And this operation happens to be focused on the Gulf of Guinea and is happening in October. So here are some of the nations that were invited. Obviously, I told you about the United States and Brazil, but we have Italy, Morocco, Spain. France is the host, besides the African nations that are there. Denmark and Belgium are there as well. Adding 9 surface vessels, 3 maritime patrol aircraft, and they observe and they add comments and assist in improving the skills of all these sailors at sea, no matter what nation they're from. And it's a very successful event. I'm glad to see it happening again. Here we have a picture of a boarding operation going on. This is, of course, practice. The guys are working together, learning how to fight illegal fishing, piracy, inspect for maritime pollution violations, rescue at sea, like I said. And these kind of skills need to be practiced over and over again. This is not something that you just do the first time you get ordered to do it. You need boarding a ship can be hazardous in peacetime. So doing it under duress or under conditions or combat conditions could be even much, much harder. So good to see everyone working together here. Here's some of the ships that I was talking about. And these are, this is a lot of firepower going on right now, operating off the coast of Africa. France, of course, has the largest ship and is the command vessel for the entire operation there. You see their amphibious warcraft. They also have like the Falcon 50, which you guys may remember from our our Oliver Hazard Perry brief. That's a very famous incident involving that aircraft, but this aircraft is still in service, and France brought their Atlantic II with them, as well as another warship there, the FS Grimald. Italy is there with one of their more capable and newer ships. The United States, like I said, is bringing a very unique ship. This is the H.W. Williams, the Willie for short. This is one of our expeditionary sea bases. It's essentially a converted tanker into a helicopter, and special forces, including Army Rangers and things like that, can have a base here where they can rest, get some food, and a hot shower, rearm, reload, and go back into operations again. We have a number of these ships. They don't get a lot of press because they're not as fancy as, say, a destroyer or a aircraft carrier, but they're vital and they're relatively new. We started building these this century, and we deploy them in places mostly in the Middle East and around Africa. And so it's good to see USS H.W. Williams not on the chopping block anymore. The Navy tried to get rid of these ships, and Congress said no, they're pretty vital, and it's showing its value now in this operation. There's a single P-8 Alpha Poseidon, which is a long-range maritime patrol aircraft, has a number of very critical sensors and can carry weapons, anti-submarine, anti-ship weapons, as well as sonar buoys, and it's got the full kit. Very capable maritime patrol aircraft, kind of help coordinating all these ships together. And this is what's going on right now. So, a tip of the hat to everybody involved. And, I'm sure that they'll have a very successful operation in the Gulf of Guinea. And thank you to France for starting this way back in 2013. But thank you for, inviting us starting in 2018 and making this Grand African Nemo operation a regular event. So that's what's going on in other parts of the world that you may not always hear about. And once more, thank you to World of Warships for making this video possible. We'll see you in the next one.